touch, Lord, for a taste of heaven's dew, emptied hopes and dreams into a pool of tears, waiting for a word from you. So the love is calling to you. Don't despise. His mercies ever new. He is near to those who call. When we stand and when we fall. So the rain where once was light, and love was king, not fear. Make me strong again, my God. Give me eyes to see. Fear will leave when you draw near. So love is calling to you. Don't despise. His mercies ever new. He is near to those who call. When we stand and when we fall. So love is calling to you. Don't despise. His mercies ever new. He is near to those who call. When we stand and when we fall. So the Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My husband Michael and I we're kind of storytellers, and so this next song that I'm going to share is a story set to music. And you know, when we first wrote it, I didn't really understand what it meant. I mean, I understood the externals of the song, but I didn't really know what it meant. And it's taken time for me to kind of relate to this song and this story. I like to think that Michael, my husband, he writes songs from the part of his brain that was x-rayed when he was in the womb. So sometimes it takes a little time for me to understand the song. He was x-rayed because he was thought to be a tumor, actually. So, no. But what I came to about this song is that it's about dreams. And it's about the dreams that all of us have, that God has knit into our DNA, into our very beings. I like to think of it as what Ephesians talks about, that it's those works that God prepared in advance for us to do. And those are those dreams. And sometimes we don't walk in those dreams right away because our fears and our wounds keep us from stepping into them. But the great thing is that God is faithful. He's faithful to bring the healing into our lives. He's faithful to bring us into the dreams. He's faithful to finish what He starts. So
They felt deep conviction and cry.
was never invited inside. I stood up and said I have known him, that I've been his apprentice 2 years. And while we were standing and prepping, he told me his dreams and his fears. I don't understand his obsession. All I know is James had true heart. It didn't matter that he lacked the talent. Didn't bother him, he wasn't smart. With these words, the Lord set him apart. You'll pay the sunset someday with colors that won't fade away. Be still and listen, I'll give you my vision, and you'll pay to sunset someday. We all left the church and proceeded to a hilltop with luscious green sod. We went there to honor an artist. We went there to be close to God. We focused our solemn attention on the unfolding Polaroid sky. I saw hues which had never been blended, dancing dreams on a canvas of pride. In my most impossible beauty was the tender which touches our hearts. In the receding skyline, I swear I saw this sunset by a James Leonard Park. He was just an old painter of houses, but he left me with more than a trade. I turned in my brush for a hammer and saw construction pays better these days. And I hear through the dawn's early rain, you'll build a kingdom someday, with souls that won't fade away. Be still and listen, I'll give you my vision, and you'll build a kingdom someday. Well, I'm a Jewish believer, and I grew up in Los Angeles. I'm hoping to be delivered from Los Angeles at some point in my life. I'm a native, so. But I grew up in the Fairfax district of Los Angeles the first few years, and it was, you know, it was a very sweet time in my life. My mom would put on these fairy tale plays, and I would be, we would all participate in these plays. My sister, my older sister, was kind of the evil queen, and my brother was the elf or dwarf or whatever we had.